All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. And you guys, yesterday in the video, we had marked out our resistance area above us, and Bitcoin did continue to work its way, slow grind its way up to that area where we did see a rejection from that area. Now, I have, as you can see on the charts, marked out this new ascending channel that we're in. And really, I just took it from this high to the next higher high, and I bring it down to this low. Now, we could look at this two ways. We could bring it down to these lows down here, and in that case, we've broken the channel to the downside. But I'm just going to include this whole little uptrend that we're seeing here. And this is what I laid out earlier today in the Jason's Discord. And you can see I showed this channel when we were still up in this upper part. We ended up losing the channel, back testing the midline of the channel in confluence with the VWAP, and then dropping to the bottom of the channel, where we did get a bounce from the bottom of the channel. And now we are working our way up to that golden pocket, local golden pocket, from the rejection highs from earlier today to today's lows. And it looks like we did front run that golden pocket just by barely here, but we are starting to get a little bit of a pullback from this area. And I do still think the possibility of the bigger ABC is still in play. Let me be clear on that. This being the A wave, our 5-wave impulse down, this being a B wave, although this is kind of hard to count as a 3-wave structure right now, and then a C wave down here to take out these lows here and maybe even these lows down here. But that's kind of what we're looking at still. Another low, kind of grindy day today. Not much happened today. And we'll just kind of keep an eye on this. Tomorrow is a very important day. So I did say in yesterday's video, we were probably going to have a slow day today with anticipation for the crypto summit that's coming tomorrow. And I think everyone, all the big players are kind of waiting to see what's going to happen in that crypto summit. So yeah, we're just trading in the ascending channel. If we do turn on our volume still looks kind of weak here. You guys can see how the volume is continually decreasing on this move up here to the upside. Yes, we are seeing spikes, but most of the spikes are actually in red volume. So this to me looks more corrective than impulsive. This was clearly an impulsive wave down. You can see some of the biggest spikes in volume in red were in the third wave down, and towards the end of the third wave down here. And then this spike here, it was, even though it was a green candle, it was towards the end of the 5-wave impulse, which you often see increased volume towards the end of the impulse. So we got that 5-wave impulse down, and we have been just kind of grinding to the upside here. This could be a more complex correction. I mean, it's kind of hard to count this, but this could be a 3-wave correction here. Then we could be seeing maybe another 3-wave correction here. It's a little unclear to me, to be honest, but I still am looking at this as more of a bigger corrective structure here, just based off volume. Also, if we go into our CVD here, you can see that we are forming bearish CVD divergence. Now, it's not absorption because our open interest is decreasing during this whole thing, but you can see here, that was our high, lower high, lower high, high, higher high, higher high. So we are forming bearish CVD exhaustion here, and these bearish CVD divergences could play out with another move to the downside here. It's not as strong as absorption because our open interest during this whole push down today, you can see, is on decreased volume, decreased open interest here. But we are still seeing that bearish CVD divergence come in on the charts. All right, back to the trading view chart here. Let me go ahead and turn off this volume. Yeah, so we're just trading in this channel here. Also, if we go on to our second chart here where we have that bearish pitchfork, you can see we're right around this bearish pitchfork band, the upper band of the bearish pitchfork. We did see a small rejection from that yesterday, continued the grind up into our 786 and value area low. Now, guys, this is key. I've been talking about the bearish backtest of our key value area low, which was our big range that we broke down from last week. And when you lose a big range like that, oftentimes you'll come up and backtest it. Now, last Sunday with the Trump pump, we did kind of come up here in this general area, backtest it, and saw the rejection. We did make a higher low at the 786 on that rejection. and we are coming up again to kind of back test this area. You can see we did actually front run the actual touch of the value area low, but we were looking at it as kind of a box of resistance in here, with our 786 also being in that kind of area. So if we do our fib pull from the highs of the impulse down to the lows of the impulse down, and we turn on our 786, the 786, you can see that's where the box started, in the 786 area to up to the value area low. And we did see the rejection from this area this morning. Also, on that rejection this morning, I was asleep when this happened, but if we do look on the charts, we were seeing bearish signals for confirmation. You can see higher highs here in the price action, lower highs in the momentum waves here. Go on to the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart, higher highs in the price action, multiple lower highs in the momentum waves. Money flow was kind of topping out and doing some weird things in here, but overall we were kind of seeing money flow top out towards the top here. Seeing even, I guess you could call it money flow divergence. Higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the money flow. So yeah, we were seeing the signals to get into that short from our resistance. Even if you took it as a scalp short at first, that was a valid entry to get into. We were at resistance. We were seeing bearish divs. And we did come, not only did we hit the bottom of this channel, let's see, did we actually take these lows here? We did not take those lows. So we still have not broken structure really, and kind of just in this low volume chop. So a couple things I'm looking at now. There's a couple different ranges I'm looking at. So let me go ahead and get onto a cleaner chart real quick for this. There is this upper range that could look like a possible head and shoulders formation. You know, this being your left shoulder here, your head here. If we're coming up to make a right shoulder now, head and shoulders is a topping reversal formation, and that would make sense for this being a corrective B wave structure, topping out here and then seeing that dump to the downside. So we can take the volume profile of this upper range up here, and we can look. You can see we're pretty much rejecting from the value area high in the point of control area as we speak here. And then the second range that I would be looking at is a bigger range of kind of this bottom price action that we're seeing here. You can see this was a pretty quick dump down, and then we've kind of been forming this more sideways range here. And you can also see it's the value area high of that range is where we're kind of finding resistance right now as well. You can see it was resistance here. We're able to break above it, back tested it, tried to bounce, couldn't, failed through it, back tested it after re-entering the value area, dropped lower, back testing it again. Are we going to drop lower again? So I think what we need to look for right now is this low here is a key low to look for to be taken out. If we do take out that low, we can look for another lower high and then the continuation down. And if we can reclaim this local golden pocket area, then we might see another push up to actually touch the value area low. Oh, let me get that right here. And then our golden pocket. You can see our golden pocket value area high is pretty much where we're at right now, or rejecting from in the last hour or so. Seeing a small rejection so far, nothing big. But yeah, going back to this chart as well, our bearish pitchfork band, we are in that bearish pitchfork band. We are starting to find resistance here, but we did front run the value area low just a bit. And also there is a naked daily point of control that's right up here, right at that value area low that we did front run. You can see the naked daily point of control is right up here, and we did front run that. So it wouldn't surprise me if we came up one more time up into this area to actually hit the value area low and the naked daily point of control, and then saw another push down. If we can reclaim the value area low, then we're in business at least to come up to our 97K point of control. It's a big resistance. To me, it's the biggest resistance on the chart, between like 96.2 to 97.7. And I know that's kind of a large range, but if we go onto our main Coinbase chart here, let me go ahead and clean some of this up. And I will go ahead and hide this channel for now. This area up here is a big area. We have a new weekly level up there. We have a naked weekly point of control at 96,555, at least on Coinbase, that's where it's at. We have a daily level at 96,582. We have, and then our golden pocket, which is this area here. You can see the top of the box is the 618 of the golden pocket. We could technically extend this box all the way to the 0.65 up here at 98.4, but I'm looking at it kind of as two separate areas. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at, and this is the range, the large range point of control as well that we broke down from. If we go ahead and zoom out here, this large range point of control is in this box. You can see in this box we have a lot labeled in this box. Let's go on to our 1 hour chart here, and we have a weekly there, a daily. Now the anchored VWAP, at least on Coinbase, is getting a little bit lower than this box was. This box is now. But the anchor VWAP's in the general vicinity. We have the large range point of control and our golden pocket up here. And then also a naked weekly point of control. And I do not know why that's not in there. Let's naked weekly POC. So big resistance up there. First though, we have to deal with this area here. And we did have that fair value gap in there as well. On this, it was the back test of the value area low that we broke down from. You can see that value area low right there. Naked daily point of control, 786, and then the fair value gap. And the fair value gap is just from this big imbalance candle here. You can see there is that fair value gap really in this area up to this other wick here. All of this was a fair value gap. If I go ahead and just turn on the fair value gap indicator, now some of it's going to be filled, of course. So it takes it away once it's filled, but it was from this wick here. You can see that gray area. If I zoom in here, this gray area was all in a fair value gap, and it looks like we pretty much filled the fair value gap and then saw the dump. So yeah, we were having resistance there. We did have bearish confirmations to look for the short, and to me, this would have been a great scalp. I would still be in this trade too. I was asleep, so I didn't get in this. But yeah, we did come down. I would have probably TP'd at TP1 when we took out these lows here. And then, you know, as soon as we saw that rejection from the value area or VWAP here, you could have re-added to it looking for new lows. And then, of course, another TP would be these lows here into the pitchfork midline. Now, this pitchfork midline to me is a pretty interesting level. And I do believe it's around our 0.5 there. Yeah, 0.5 was right around that pitchfork midline. And we have our prior lows there to look to be taken out. So this area in general, it could be a little support area for us. If we're just going to continue this low volume chop until tomorrow, we could look for, and we'd want to be looking for low time frame bull divs. So like if we come down here like this and we're seeing lower lows here, and then we do something like this and we have higher lows on our momentum waves, you could look at that as a scalp. It's a bit risky though, because to me, you have this daily right down below us, this new daily at 86,161, and you have these lows down here. So I would say if you're going to long this, you have to set your stop. Say we go right on the pitchfork. You're going to have to set your stop right below that daily and right below those prior lows. And honestly, you'd probably want to be looking to take out these highs that we created last night. So I guess that is a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. So that's a decent plan to me. That would be a total scalp. And then you would I'll probably want a TP1 in that value area, high golden pocket area that we're rejecting from right now, which is this area here, about 90.9-ish. Let me clean up this. Yeah, because we still do have that golden pocket that hasn't quite been tapped yet. Right above us here. So I would probably TP1 right at like 90.9, and then TP2 would be up here, and then let the rest run just in case it keeps going. So that's a little local long trade you can take, but be aware, guys, because our bands, our SMA VWAP bands, are compressing pretty hard again, And usually when we see this, we do see a big move coming out of this. And with tomorrow lining up with the crypto summit and possible really bullish news happening, we have a wild card tomorrow because we don't know. This is our first real big American crypto summit where it's going to be at the White House. There's going to be some of the main heads in crypto there. So it's really a wild card for us, but we'll just follow the technicals. Even if you take this trade and then it continues to dump, if you have proper stop loss and you set your position size right, you'll just lose a trade. It happens. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Nothing else too much here, but the bearish CVD divergence that we are seeing right now on the charts is a bit concerning. And the fact that we still could see this as a bigger ABC correction to the downside where we come take out these lows here around, what was that, 81.5. That's going to be interesting for me because this, I've been looking at this here today, and this really does look like a three-wave correction to the upside. And then this looks like a clear five-wave impulse down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you had your three-wave correction up, then you had an impulse. So after your correction, you can see your impulse in an A wave. It's a 5-wave. Then you want to see a 3-wave correction in a B wave, and then another C wave with a 5-wave impulse down. And this push up that we've been seeing the last 24, 48 hours or so, this is kind of hard to count right now. But we are seeing bearish signals towards the top of this. We were seeing bearish divergence up here into our resistance, and we are still seeing bearish CVD divergence on the charts right now. So does this mean that this all here is a wave 1? We're in our wave 2 right now, and then we're going to see the big 3. That's why this long here could be risky, because if it is going to be a 3 impulse down, the third wave of impulse down, we'll cut right through this and you'll lose that trade. So depending on how it looks when we get down to this area, and of course it might happen again while I'm sleeping, but depending on how that looks, I would not be willing to pull the trigger on that unless we're seeing bullish divs here. And I'd also want to see money flow looking pretty good on the lower time frames. But that's pretty much it for Bitcoin. Nothing much else to look at. We've got a new range that I'm looking at from these lows here over this range here. Which on Coinbase, it looks like we're above the value area high and actually back testing it now. Let's check out Bybit. Okay, yeah, Bybit's is higher. Bybit's value area high is towards the top of the pitchfork band. And that's more aligned with our golden pocket as well. It's even a little bit higher than our golden pocket. Yeah, I'd say this general area. Between the golden pocket and 786, we have the value area high, the top of the pitchfork band, 786. So that's an area where we could fall. That's an area, if this is a one wave down here, maybe our 2 brings us up here, and then our 3, we see the big 3. Now, if this is a bigger 3, this pitchfork midline of the bearish pitchfork is getting interesting here. Because this, depending on how long this takes, let's actually go ahead and look at this. We can go ahead and pull our Fibonacci from the lows to our highs that we made earlier today. And let's turn on that golden pocket. Yeah, golden pocket is right in that pitchfork midline, the bearish pitchfork. This is a different, smaller bearish pitchfork pulled from the all-time highs. You can also see our point of control of this larger kind of sideways range is right in that area. So that could be a good spot where the third wave could see an end. And we don't know if this is a 2-wave. We don't know if it's finished yet, because you could get the target of the third wave, one of the targets of a third wave, by doing your trend-based Fibonacci extinction. So you could do, and let's just speculate that we come up to this value area high, top of the pitchfork band, and we can put on our 1.618. Okay, so the 1.618 is lower than this area. But you can see it's right around that anchored VWAP from the 49K lows. So that's actually could bounce us there. See up. This is what we could see. This come up to the top of the pitchfork band, see our wave 3 bring us to the anchored VWAP and the 1.618. Our 4 wave maybe is a back test of this pitchfork midline. And then our 5 wave would bring us to take these lows here in a bigger ABC. Just a thought, just a speculation based off the waves, but that's we'll kind of have to see how that plays out. I don't like how corrective and lower volume this price action looks, and I do not like the bearish CVD signals that we are seeing on the chart right now. Okay, yeah, that's about it. Let's look at our liquidity real quick first before we move on. Okay, this is going to be the Model 3 heat map, and you can see a majority of the liquidity is below us on this heat map here. So that moved down into that area. Let's check out here. So about 85K is where that all ends. And yeah, that's about where the pitchfork midline is at, right at 85K. So there is a possibility we could come down to this area. Now, if we're going to reject from where we're at now, once again, there's 2 types of price action in Elliott wave theory. There's impulsive and there's corrective. If this is, because this also is low volume price action that we're seeing so far. So if we're going to reject from this high that we just saw about an hour ago, and we turn on our ABC correction targets, you can see our 1-to-1 to our 1, 2, 3, 6 is in this general area of support here where the ending liquidity will be. So this here, you can't count this as a 5 wave. Yes, it does look like 5 clear waves, but a rule in Elliott impulses is your 3rd wave cannot be your smallest and lowest volume filled wave. So if this was our wave 1, which you do see extended wave 1s in crypto, especially off of more major lows, your wave 2 was here. This being your 3rd wave it invalidates this whole thing being an impulse, because look at your 5th wave is also longer than the 3rd wave. And so we cannot say this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. We can't say that. This 3rd wave here in the middle is the shortest wave, and that's a hard rule on Elliott theory. Hard rule that you cannot have that there. So, yeah, but this could be, see, this is real tough here. I mean, if we came into this area here and bounced, it would be like a running flat where you're not taking these lows here. So, we could see this here, this here. If we come here and bounce from here, with this being a smaller 3-wave correction within a larger correction, pretty much a complex corrective structure, then this 85K area could be the end of a running flat. But running flats are rare in Elliott wave theory. Not unheard of, especially in crypto. So this area, we need to see how this plays out right now. If we're actually going to reject from this area, or if we're just going to keep coming up a little bit higher. It's going to be interesting. Okay, back to our liquidity heat map, and let's go to our Model 2, and let's check that out. Ooh, there's liquidity both above and below. Very interesting here. Let's zoom out on this. Let's go to our 3-day. Yeah, but the majority, the higher liquidity is definitely below us. And remember, liquidity acts as a magnet, and price action tends to kind of hunt that liquidity to stop out retail before making bigger moves. So with a majority of our liquidity being down here near this 85K area, I would say this move down is a little bit more probable. Now, we are seeing market close. 13 minutes ago, markets closed, and we're trying to break up. We just finally did hit that golden pocket. If we do this golden pocket pull now, you can see we're hitting into the golden pocket here. But that 786 into the top of the pitchfork is a little bit more confluence for resistance. So let's see if we reject there. Money flow, though, okay, so we are getting contradicting signals, because money flow is still looking fairly strong here. You can see money flow did cross over into the green, and even though we were seeing bearish divs in here, our money flow didn't look the worst on the hourly, and it does look like it wants to continue up here on the hourly. So money flow is not looking the worst. I just don't like the low volume. And look at, we're starting to see a little bit of a reaction from that golden pocket. Let's see if it does reject us. So we'll come back to Bitcoin. We'll look at that when we come back to Bitcoin here. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at here for Bitcoin. Not too much else to discuss. Tomorrow's a big day, and we need to watch tomorrow. I do still think there's a possibility of a B flat wave too. So with this being our 5-wave impulse down in our A, sometimes in crypto, in markets in general, you see a B flat. So the B wave comes all the way up to take these highs into the 1-to-1 to the 1-2-3-6. That's your general area for a B flat. And that's also around the top of this pitchfork. So there's a lot of different options right now, and I understand how that can get confusing for Elliott. You're like, oh, well, you gave 5 different options. Well, as time develops, you can eliminate some of those options, and you can look at more probable scenarios. But either way, whether you're trading with Elliott waves or not, you look to trade supports and resistances with your confirmations, and with your confirmations on Market Cipher B, with bear divs and money flow divergence and stuff like that, you can look to take shorts at levels of resistance. Hence why last night we marked this level out as a level of resistance. And if we were seeing bear divs up here, to look for the short. And that did play out already. You could still be in that trade. I would still be in that trade if it was me. And look at, we're getting that rejection. So nice. That's what we wanted to see, a little bit higher up into that golden pocket. Now that we're rejecting there, let's see if we come down to take these lows here. And I marked poor lows again. I didn't mean poor lows. I meant prior, not prior highs, prior lows. Okay, there we go. So these prior lows here, because that's really going to let us know if we're seeing a change in market structure or not. And if we do, and that's also kind of our neckline for this little mini head and shoulders that we're seeing here. With this being our left shoulder, our head, maybe we just started the right shoulder now. And if we break these prior lows, that's our neckline, and we don't see a reaction from the neckline area, then we might see that play out and dump farther down to 85K. If we bounce from there, it's obviously a fake out, and you keep going. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at here for Bitcoin. Let me just look at this. And yeah. So volume confirmation for the head and shoulders is not the greatest. You do want to generally see as your left shoulder, head, right shoulder is forming on the charts, you want to see volume decreasing from the left shoulder all the way through the making of the pattern. Now, we were seeing it decrease really nicely here, but look at this little spike up here. It's still overall a decreasing volume, so it could play out. And let's just watch these prior lows at 87,500, 87,550, I'd say. That area there. Because now we have also, if you're looking really local scalp trading, we have semi-equal lows down here. We can grab the liquidity of this low, grab the liquidity of this low, and then see that move down. Okay, that's it for Bitcoin. Let's go on to Ethereum. Ethereum here, we did come up into that naked daily point of control up here, and we didn't really get the SFP per se, but yeah, it's. Let's look at this. Oh, let me finish deleting that. Yeah, we didn't even get up to our golden pocket area. Interesting. We can get rid of this now. Let's just check that real quick. Yeah, we took that naked daily there. Very interesting rejection area there. Above the 0.5, but not quite to the golden pocket yet. Let me just double check this to make sure I am being accurate with my fib pulls. So from the high to the low and our golden pocket. Yeah, we didn't hit that golden pocket, so we front ran that a little bit. But we are seeing the dump now. This area in here, we have our prior lows near our daily. We're actually starting to take out those prior lows now, marking a shift in market structure. So since we've been hitting the lows here at $2,000, you can see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Well, now we're first making our first shift in market structure. We're taking out this low here on the hourly chart. So we're changing market structure. So even if we bounce here now, what we can look for, because there is a daily right below us, a fresh daily. Let me make sure that's still fresh. Yeah, there's that fresh daily down there that hasn't been hit. So here's the thing, now that we're breaking some market structure here, unless it's an SFP, which it's very possible we could see the SFP into the daily and push back up. But we need to be aware now that we're broken market structure bearishly here, if we bounce from this daily here, we need to be watching for our local golden pocket pull. This local golden pocket pull here, golden pocket to 786. And of course, we'd have to wait till the dump stops to get our low. But this is what we'd be looking for now. This area between the local golden pocket. Okay, we're dumping. Let me check something out here. Yep, Bitcoin's changing market structure. We're coming down to that pitchfork midline right now. You can see we're getting a reaction. This is of the bullish pitchfork midline, not the bearish one on the other chart, the bullish one. Let's see how this plays out. Similar to Ethereum, we have this SFP here of these internal lows into our daily. We do have a daily down here about 86,161. And that could be an area where bounce. But once again, guys, if this is the third wave down, which this is starting to get aggressive already, remember, 1, 2, our third wave should be an explosion to the downside. And this explosion will take not just 1 hour, multiple hours here. But if this was our bigger A, B, C wave, in this C wave down, we expect a 5-wave impulse. Well, we could be seeing this as our wave 1. This is our wave 2, and are we about to start the wave 3 where we explode down pretty far here? And if that's the case, what we can do is a trend-based Fibonacci extinction, because now it looks like that. Now that we're changing market structure here, we can go from the high to the low to the high here. And, oh, look at that 1-to-1 target is right on that SFP into the daily. But we'll look at the 1.618. And yeah, that's right near that key anchored VWAP from 49K, which overall has been acting as support on the daily. We've seen wicks past it on the daily, but no real closes below it. So, but if that's the case, that would only be our third wave ending. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. No, well, that's a way big 5, but you know what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to take out these lows here. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this. But I was, even in my video yesterday, I was expecting this to start to roll over and see more of an impulse down. And it looks like that might be starting as we're speaking in this video. So I'll try to get this video out actually as quick as possible. Let's go back to Ethereum here real quick. I'm just going to go through some of this stuff quick, guys, because I also want to pay attention to this. Yeah, Ethereum's getting a change in market structure. Daily didn't really give us a reaction so far. And I do think this bigger box down here. So yesterday on Ethereum, I said I was only willing to take a couple trades. You know, this box above us, this box below us. We can actually extend this box a bit because we do have our daily up there now. Not up there, down, right down here. So this box, and we did not hit into it on this high. So if I turn that back, you can see we front ran that just a bit. So this is still a fresh box of resistance. But now that we have a new daily a little bit below, I'm going to take this box and I'm going to extend it down to that daily, and we'll bring it over here. And that's what I'd be looking at as our resistance above us. So that's from 25.20 to 25.78. Let me get rid of that golden pocket. And then down below us, I still think this box down here, between 1885 and 1817, or really 1818, is our first box of support. It's also at the bottom of our bigger channel. You can see this pink descending channel here. So that's kind of what I'd be looking at here. if this is going to be a 5-wave impulse, actually, we can do this. This is great. Let's go grab our trend-based Fibonacci extinction. We'll go from the highs of this move to the lows of this move to the highs of our potential wave B. Let's turn on our ABC correction targets and look at, yeah, so our 1-to-1's right at the bottom of that box. So let's actually take this box here. We zoom out. Let's take this box and let's just extend it down to that 1-to-1, just a hair. All right. Let's go to the 12-minute chart. The only other thing, if you think the low is in on Ethereum, let me get back to the hourly chart. If you think the low is in on Ethereum, you could look at your local golden pocket pull of this push up here. And we're coming close to that golden pocket right now. We just front ran it, which is not a good sign. And we can look at this lower, from these lows here, this kind of area is starting to form a range. I know it's ugly with this up here and this down here, the deviation of that range, but we can do our volume profile pull from what looks like the end of the impulse down. This was obviously a clear impulse down. It ended here. We saw that 3-wave correction to the upside. So at the end of the impulse, all right, so golden pocket, there's not much confluence, but our 786 is going to be at that value area low down here. And that's where I'd be looking. If you think Ethereum is going to make a higher low and continue higher, this is the only level I'd be looking to long. But once again, be aware, guys, because this could be the start of a bigger impulse down. And if we go back, let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's get rid of this real quick. And if we go into our volume here, I mean, look at this. Since the push up, so you can see when we ended here, we ended the 5-wave correction down with an increase in volume, which often happens. Since then, look at this. It's actually even nicer on Ethereum. Decreasing volume here, and then now we're seeing a spike in volume on our potential wave 3 to the downside of this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, so we are seeing our signal. We saw this ahead of time. I warned about this yesterday, that this whole push up was corrective and that we might top out at a lower high and then make a new low below our lows. Looks like it's starting to get pretty impulsive to the downside. I just want to check on Bitcoin again. All right, Bitcoin's breaking that pitchfork midline. So if this little SFP into the daily doesn't hold, I would start to say we're in wave 3 impulse zone, and to watch for our 1.618, which was coming in right here, right around 83.3, where our anchored VWAP was. You might see a small bounce there, but expect a lower high for a wave 4 before taking these lows on a wave 5. And a dump into the crypto summit actually would be nice. It would be nice. So what I would like to see, and this is just what I want to see, this doesn't have to play out at all, but we do have this bigger ABC possibility here. And this was the thumbnail of my video yesterday, seeing this bigger ABC here. If we came out and took out these lows here into our pitchfork band down here, and then we have the summit tomorrow, maybe we do this overnight, come all the way down here, even early tomorrow in New York, we keep dumping a little bit because the crypto summit doesn't start till 1:30 Eastern time and 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. And so if we keep grinding down here and we see that us being close to support around the start of that summit and some bullish news comes out, we could be ending our correction here, filling that CME gap into our pitchfork band, and then see the push up. Now, I have seen some bearish things on crypto today, very informed people in the crypto markets saying that there's major hurdles and this crypto summit is going to be a big disappointment because of just like restrictions in Congress buying crypto and actually being able to get a reserve established. So I am worried about this being sort of like a black swan event too, where instead of everyone's expecting a bullish price action, but because they can't get the details of a reserve worked out, if we come out tomorrow night with the crypto summit ending and no talk of reserves or no tweets from Trump about that, it could be seen as a bearish thing and it could continue to dump us. I know that's a wild card, and I know I'm talking scenarios, just different scenarios, what ifs, but I like to look at what ifs as a trader, So, all right, I'm getting off track again. Let's go to Solana here. Solana is starting to break its channel down. So just like Bitcoin, and actually, I know I'm sorry, I keep going back to Bitcoin. I want to check to see if this channel's broken down. Yep, channel's breaking down with volume. So with an increase in volume, and that's so remember when you break an ascending, this is the reason why I was looking at this also like as a low volume ascending channel. And this is the reason why we were looking to short up in this purple box yesterday. This was the only level I was really looking to short. And low volume push to the upside, looks more corrective, smells more corrective, bearish signals. Guess what? It's probably going to be corrective and we're dumping. So what do you look for when you break a channel to the downside with increasing volume? You usually sweep the liquidity of the entire channel. And in that case, we would be sweeping these lows, which is the target for the ABC correction anyways, to sweep those lows. So let's see how this plays out. I mean, we do have some support locally. We have this daily here at 86K. And then we also have that bearish pitchfork band at 85K into our golden pocket. And the golden pocket I'm talking about is from the lows to the highs. Golden pocket. Now, I do look at this, though, real quick. I know I keep getting off track going onto these altcoins, but golden pocket into the pitchfork midline is an area I'd be interested, but it doesn't look like, with how fast we're coming down now, it doesn't look like we're going to form any bull CVDs, not CVD, bullish divs on Market Cipher. But the 786, I'm going to go back to the same fib pool and look at where the 786 ends. It also ends where the 1.618 fib target is. So if we go here, here, and we turn on our 1.618, right in this area. So we have a 786, a 1.618, and our very key anchored VWAP in this area where the wave 3 is expected to end, and we might see a bounce for a wave 4. But I probably wouldn't long this because a wave 4 an uncommon target for a wave 4 is the 382. And then the 0.5, not uncommon. I'm sorry. The common target for wave 4 is between the 382 and the 0.5. So you're really trying to trade the bounce of a wave 4 is just bad risk management in some ways. All right, back to Solana. Solana is breaking its channel to the downside. This is a channel that I was tracking today, and we are coming into that support that I laid out yesterday in the video. So this support area now, but here's the thing: this point of control you can see on the chart now literally goes back to December of 22 or March of 2024. It's a year-long point of control of a year-long range, and with us, we're flirting with it all day long, but when we're losing it with volume to the downside, that is not a good look. Even if we bounce from this area, I expect a lower high to come in before coming lower and coming down to this box again. Yeah, this we do have. Let's see if we hit our naked daily point of control. It's a little bit below us, I believe. It's like down here. Come on now. Pitchfork midline. Golden pocket was a little bit higher because we did make new highs. So yeah, naked daily's a little bit lower. Now you're not paying attention to this naked daily because that's today's price action. They just confirmed. But you can see we do have that. We're hitting into our box of support. The naked daily point of control is at the bottom of the box. So I would really be looking to come down and really fill that whole box of support. That's what I would be looking for. We are seeing a little bit of a reaction there. Okay. I don't know why TradingView does that. But yeah, man. See, you could have counted this as the three-wave corrective structure, just this being one, or A, B, C, your three-wave corrective structure in a wave B before you see your five-wave impulse in C. Doesn't look like this is going to hold. It's giving us a little reaction here, but and the reason why I was looking here is because let's zoom out on this and let's look at this pitchfork midline. You can see that it's been overall, it's been a really strong support level for us. If we go on to the daily chart, you can see we have some wicks past it here on the daily, but really this pitchfork midline here has been kind of the support. We only saw one time the wick to the value area low of that major range, but other than that, and I expected to come down and wick that value area low because we were so close to it, because this pitchfork midline was so close to it at the time. If we start losing and closing dailies below this pitchfork midline, I think we might even come down to 110 to 106, unfortunately. Look at money flow. I've been talking about money flow on Solana on the daily for a while now, and money flow just doesn't look good. But look at what would be nice here. If we did come down to 106, 110 to $100, let's just say that, and the daily kind of does something like this, comes down, rolls over here, lower lows on price action, higher lows on the momentum wave on the daily time frame. Hopefully by then our money flow would be bottomed out and starting to kind of curve back to the upside. That would give me a very good swing long signal from 110 to 100. Not 110, closer to 106 to 100 is where I'd be looking. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at here if we start breaking this and closing dailies below this. Now, we can also just come down. Let's go onto the hourly chart. Down here in this box down here, you can see our value area low is at the top of the box. And let me make sure. Yeah, value area low is at the top of the box here. And we do have the naked daily point of control. And I need to adjust this box up to that. Oops. Dang it. Bear with me, guys. And our new S1 monthly pivot is in this box as well. So I just want to get that box right on the naked daily. So, and I put the box a little bit past the swing failure pattern because we want to see a wick past that low. But this box down here is a new naked daily point of control at 27.8. Our value area low, you can see, is right pretty much down there as well, 26.8. And then we have the SFP at 25.5. So this general box is our box of support that I'm looking at down here. If we break that, it's just going to keep dumping. It's just going to keep going. I do see, but you guys can see how this kind of looks like it's forming a range in this area here with one giant deviation of that range here. I didn't mean to draw a sombrero or a witch hat, but you get the idea. So what we can do is we can look at the volume profile pull of this little sideways range here from the first time the pitchfork midline held the support. Yeah, the value area low of that is near our other value area low. So if we come down this far, I expect to come down into this box. But we're losing the point of control. We're losing we rejected from the value area high there. Yeah, I mean, this was seen. All right, I'm going to delete this channel now because we broke out of it to the downside with volume. Let's before I delete it, let's just go in here. You can see, and I actually earlier today shorted. It was right when we lost this wick. We tried to get back in the channel, and then we failed right away. I shorted with my high right above that local wick there, just because we were losing the channel and we were seeing this kind of chop. Anytime you see this chop right under a channel where you're trying to get back in it, and you try to get back in it and you instantly fake out, this is a high probability of happening. So I did take that short there. With my stop, I had proper risk management. I know taking a short down here looks risky, but I put my stop right above that local high. I put my stop right above this local high just in case I was wrong. I'd get stopped out, and it wasn't even a 0.5% stop loss. So, and I used a smaller position size because I wasn't sure. If I would have got stopped out, I wouldn't have even lost 1%. Yeah, we're dumping, guys. We're dumping. Bitcoin daily didn't hold at all. We are breaking structure to downside. This looks like wave 3, guys. This looks like wave 3. I was warning of this yesterday in the video. that this was a B wave corrective structure to the upside, and that if we do start to really come down, we're going to see our 1, 2, 3, which should bring us down to this area down here, maybe a 4, 5, you know. So let's keep an eye on this, but this is looking like this ABC is really starting to want to play out. And I might end this video and take an eye on this. I mean, let's keep going for now, but if we come down real quick, I want to be ready to look at that stuff. Okay, we did Ethereum, we did Solana, XRP. Yeah, XRP, same thing. You guys, on all these videos today, yesterday in my video, I said I didn't get to make any channels and I felt bad. So today I looked for a bunch of channels and look at this, another ascending channel to the upside. We were kind of losing it. But once again, we didn't come into our box of resistance, which kind of bothers me. If we would have just came just a bit higher, we have our anchored VWAP from the all-time highs. We have our value area high, and we have our golden pocket up there. And it would have been in the middle of the pitchfork, or not the pitchfork, the channel that we've been trading in up here. So luckily I wasn't looking at this to trade it, but I would have been disappointed if I was waiting for this resistance and we front run it so closely and dump. We are at the point of control. We are seeing a small reaction from the point of control of this bigger range. Let's go ahead and zoom out here on 2-hour chart. You can see this range is of this whole upper price action of this bigger descending channel. This whole sideways price action since December. XRP's been holding up really well since December, but you can see that's why I was looking for a rejection in this purple box, because it's the value area high of that range. And now we're dumping to the point of control. So if this point of control doesn't hold us, I expect us to come down to the value area low, where this box of support is. I've talked about this in yesterday's video, the day before. That box of support is a major box of support. Channel midlines there, if it takes some time to get down there. But look at how much support we down. Value area low of our big range. Naked daily point of control, a naked weekly point of control, a fresh daily, the channel midline, our 786, and a swing failure liquidity grab. We have so much down in this box here that if we come down there, I will be looking to long that area if I'm seeing proper confirmation. But we do have to be careful, because if this is an ABC correction to the downside, there's a possibility we can come take these lows at 194, 195. And that's honestly, that's the bullish scenario, just coming down to 195 to take these lows. Because the crazy thing is, what if this is a 1 wave, this is a 2 wave, and now we see a 3, 4, 5, you know? I don't think that's the highest probability yet. Okay, we're bouncing from the point of control. Let's go ahead and do our golden pocket pull, and it's probably going to be close to our 0.5. Yeah, kind of close to our 0.5. You can see 0.5 point of control is kind of where we're bouncing now. Now, oftentimes, you guys, I say in these ascending channels, when you break an ascending channel to the downside, you will often come sweep the liquidity of the second pivot, if not the entire liquidity of the channel. Where's our second pivot? Right here. We just swept it. So we did get our first target of the breakdown of the ascending channel, has been swept, has been hit. And we are right now seeing the SFP there. But it wouldn't surprise me if we come down to this box down here. Let's just say that. Okay, that's what we're looking at on XRP. Now, to the upside, this is tough, because if we bounce from here, I would just expect, you know, that and then maybe a dump. Because if we look at this being our impulse down, we really haven't had a 3-wave corrective structure in wave B yet for XRP. XRP's kind of been one straight line up here. So if we bounce from this area, see our 3-wave corrective structure in a wave B, and then you see your 5-wave impulse in a C. Okay, that is XRP. Let's go to Link real quick. Link, again, gosh, these front runs are annoying. And maybe it's me. Maybe I need to extend my boxes a little bit more, because we should have been looking for the SFP here into that. That's on me, actually, guys. Look at this SFP of these highs into this resistance here. So that box should have been extended down to the SFP, to the prior highs. Ugh. There. Now let me go back on the daily and reattach that. Okay. So my bad there. I'm sorry. But we did get the resistance hit. You can see we have a naked weekly point of control and a daily. That's why I really had it in between these two, because that was the you would think if we would SFP this, we would hit that daily that was just above it. But it didn't. You saw the clean SFP here. Very clean SFP. Made a new low. Broke. Look at this, guys. This is pure technical analysis, pure technical trading, which Link does so much. That's why I love trading Link. Got the liquidity grab, came down, broke market structure bearishly. Okay, so we MS break. Where's my MS break here? So our prior lows here on the hourly had the SFP, broke market structure bearishly, came up for a lower high bounce. Well, where we look between the golden pocket and 786. So let's do that fib pull. Let's do our JC pocket. Golden pocket 786. That's exactly where we ended up rejecting from. Because we had a break in market structure here on a swing failure pattern, you look for a lower high, because if you missed the swing failure pattern, you could have got in the trade here, knowing that you broke market structure bearishly. So you reject from here, you make another new low. You take the liquidity of that prior low, you see a small move up. Now what do you do now? You look for another golden pocket, but this time from the original high down to your new low. Where does it reject? Golden pocket. You are just breaking market structure and continuing lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now the dump. Now the big impulse down. So look at how technical this was today. I mean, if you were paying attention to this and you knew about market structure breaks, and when a market structure breaks bearishly, you look for a lower high, you look to add to your short, compound your short on a lower high, because your first TP would have been here. You could have TP'd 10%, 20%. Then when you come up into this local 786, you add that 20% back. Yes, it's going to lower your average entry price. Then you take this low here. As soon as you start to see it SFP, you can take a little bit out, look for the golden pocket to re-add. Then you dump now, you see the big move. You let it run. You let it run until the impulse is over. And just so technical, so amazing. Chainlink is very, very technical in its trading. And now what do we look for? You know, we dumped here. We came into that resistance. We saw the SFP. And now we look for, I mean, the 0.5. Now this 0.5 is wrong because that was pulled last night. So we go from here to here. And it's going to be our golden pocket area now. So our golden pocket is right at our point of control of this range. We can also extend this range a little bit over. Yeah, golden pocket, point of control, and the bottom of our descending channel. So I would say right in here. Between 14.9 and 14.66 is our support that we're looking at right now. If this doesn't hold, because technically XRP just had a B flat wave. If this is an A, B, C, look at this. This is exactly what you talk about in a B flat. So you have your impulse down. Your B flat often comes to like the 1.05 up to the 1.236 in a B flat of your ABC. And now you'll see a 5-wave impulse down to take these lows here. So we could have just seen our B flat of this. This being our A wave, that was the 5-wave impulse down. This being your B wave, a B flat wave, and your C wave would come down here. You would take these lows. So now we can look for those lows to be taken. But this area might be a bounce area. Now, if you do bounce from here, you got to watch to take profit at the local lower high golden pocket. So let's just play this out here because Link is trading so technical right now. If we do chop our way down here and we bounce right here, what we're going to look for is we're going to do our golden pocket pull from those highs down to this hypothetical low. and you will look to take your profits. Well, first of all, I'd look to start taking some right at this value area high here, just in case you reject that value area high. And then in this general vicinity, you would be looking to take profit on that. And I would probably take 75%, knowing that this could be a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So that could be a scalp trade here. Now, that is dangerous as a scalp trade because you don't have a technical invalidation. You would have to almost wait for it to bounce and then put your stop below the low of that wick. What I would do, because you can't do this, you can't long here and put your stop way down here and put your highs at the local value area high. Look at, that's not even a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. That would be a poor risk trade. You would not, that does not make sense at all. So what you would have to do is you would have to see it come in here, bounce here, and the second we re-entered this channel and maybe saw a small like 1 or 3 minute kind of support, like came back to this channel and held it as support, you enter here in your long. You take your long, your first TP would be this value area high, and then your stop would be right below that low. And that makes it a 3.5 risk reward ratio. So that's how you could scalp that if you were playing that. But once again, guys, that's a highly risky scalp. And if you do not have your risk management on point and understand that you have to be patient and wait for a bounce here and then wait to get in on a local retest of this channel here, you will get wrecked. This is more advanced trading. Scalping can be very hard, and you really have to be on point, or you can really make mistakes. So this is high risk. I probably shouldn't have even pointed this out, but yeah. All right. That's an idea. I mean, I already said it. That's an idea. So, but be careful. Be careful. This is support. Golden pocket, point of control of our range is here. But with the potential of this being a B flat and us seeing a ABC, not a 5-wave impulse down, you know, just be careful. You'll want to take your profit at a lower high for sure. Okay, that is Chainlink, and Roman had a really good comment where he said, you know what, you should go over the 5 coins that are going to be in the crypto reserve, go over those daily, and then if anyone else asks about coins, you can, you know, add those to the chart too. So I think that's a great idea, Roman, and thank you for that. I'm gonna start doing that. I keep forgetting to go over Cardano here. Okay, so Cardano, we are coming up to our daily. I don't remember even when the last time I looked at Cardano was, so you'll have to excuse that. It looks like it's been a while. It looks like it was last week sometime before this weekend pump on Cardano. But let's go ahead and just pull this range here. Let me get rid of this golden pocket. Look at where our pump ended, though. On the Trump announcement, the only resistance we really had on the chart here, our weekly level into our naked weekly point of control. You know, there's no random movements on the chart. Now, to me, very 3-wave corrective correction up. Now, you're saying, how could this be a correction? Look how impulsive that is. In a 3-wave correction, your C wave in the correction is a subcount of a 5-wave impulse inside the C wave. So there is an impulse in there. You're right. That's an impulse. But your C wave is a 5-wave subcount. It's a fractal within a fractal. And that's where Elliott waves can get very confusing. But now that we've finished this possible ABC up, and this doesn't even look like a good, because this doesn't even look like a good B wave here. But, you know, it could be a running flat. Here, and that's your running flat, and then you see your C impulse up. And now we have this here, impulse down, correction up here. Look at where we ended the correction, at the top of the channel. And look at where we bounced on our A wave down, though, at the midline of the channel. So this bigger channel that we pulled here, let's zoom out onto the 3-hour chart. We've been following this channel here on Cardano, and we came up to the midline up here, rejected, came down to the bottom, bounced. Then we saw the Trump pump. That was the only time we had a deviation of that channel. rejected from the area we were looking to reject, came down to the midline, bounced from the midline, came up to the top of the channel, confirming we want to re-enter and trade back within the channel's price action, rejected. Now look at where our area, and now this daily's probably got to be deleted because that daily was tapped when we hit in here. Last time I looked at it, that daily was still fresh. So let's actually go to the daily chart and let's look at the daily here. Yeah, that daily's been tapped. So we don't have too much there except for the midline. So I'd be careful. Midline and point of control is here. So, but you can see, look at this, guys. Rejected from the top of the channel, bounced from the value area high, made a lower high. I bet you that's the golden pocket. Almost guaranteed that's the golden pocket 786 area. Yeah, golden pocket. You can see right there. Rejected golden pocket 786 area. Bounced from the value area high again. Came down, made another lower high, and that's probably like a 382. Then finally lost it here. Back tested it. Very low time frame. Made new lows. Back tested it again. And now we're reconfirming that we want to establish value within this range here. The fair value of Cardano wants to be within this range between 93 cents and 63 cents. And now we're dumping. So, man, this is getting so aggressive. I need to go look at Bitcoin. I need to end this video in a second. But I did tell you a wave 3 was coming. I tried, you know, we knew it was a possibility. I don't want to say. Anyways, dumping, back tested the value area high, confirmed re-entry back within. So now we can dump. And if we dump, I bet you our 786 is close to that. Let's pull the 786 here. 786. Yeah, it's our 886. So even if we bounce from the 886 here at the channel midline and our point of control, expect a lower high to come in before eventually coming to take this low. And actually, we can pull the target of that low based off of our trend-based Fibonacci extension. So I'm going to go from this high because I know that this may be a truncated wave here, but let's do this. And let's go to our ABC target zone and look at where our ABC target zone is at the bottom of the channel. Makes sense to me. So 59 cents, 59.60 cents. That would make sense. Yeah, okay, so that's it. That's Cardano, what I'm looking at on Cardano. So you can look for a small bounce at 79 cents pretty much. Yeah, between 79 and like 78 cents. But expect a lower high to come in before coming lower. Because this does look highly corrective like an ABC down. And our C wave might end all the way down at the bottom here. Okay, that is it. I'm going to go ahead and get going here because I want to look at this. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick while I'm live with you guys. Not live, but in a video with you guys. Let's go to 85. Yeah, look at this, guys. We're at that level that I talked about at the beginning of the video. But here's the thing. We were expecting this to be a 5-wave impulse down. An A wave here. Go look at my thumbnail yesterday. A wave here. B wave. And where was the most probable target for a B wave? Between the 0.5, 0.382 and the 786 is the common targets. But knowing that our 786 was near our value area low and our golden pocket was near our pitchfork band, we had a probability that we were at least going to come to the golden pocket or the 786. Now we came up to the 786. Now our C wave. Now that we think our B wave is in, I mean, we know our B wave is in because of this dump here. Let's go ahead and do our targets. Now we didn't have this earlier today. Well, we did, but we didn't have as much confirmation. So now we can do our trend-based Fibonacci from the highs of A to the lows of A to the highs of B. And look at where our 1-to-1 is coming in. Right at the bottom of the pitchfork band, at the bearish pitchfork band. So this is where I would be looking. Now, here's the thing. Let me delete this 886 real quick. Here's the thing. That 1-to-1 correction target is at the bottom of the pitchfork band, but it's not taking out these lows. We want to take out these lows. So what do we look for? probably the 1.236. And depending on how fast and aggressive it is, if this is our wave 1, this is our wave 2. Clearly, we're in a wave 3 down now. The wave 3 down should end around this. Actually, let me redraw this. 1, 2. Our 1.618 is at this anchored VWAP. So 3, 4, 5. Now that's too far of a 5 though. We don't want that. So our 3 wave would have to go past the 1.618. It would have to go to like the 2.618. Then we would see a bounce here, and then we could end our 5th wave taking out. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I got confused here. Our target is to take out these lows. First and foremost, take out these lows. So this does make sense that we see a 1 wave here, a 2 wave here, 3 wave to the 1.618, bounce here, and then come down to our 1-to-1 fib target, take out these lows here, and then see the reversal. You know, but we could come all the way down to take out these lows too, because our 1.236 is down here. And look, it's near the bottom of the pitchfork band, which we front run last time. If you go back to my videos last week, I was real hesitant about this being the low because we front ran the bottom of the pitchfork, the bottom of the bearish pitchfork. So I've been talking about that. And you can see that 1.236 would be a very nice SFP of these lows. Actually, it's a pretty big SFP. It's not a nice one. It would be nice, though. Yeah. All right, guys. We're in the 3rd wave impulse down. We were expecting this. I'm going to post this video. I'm going to get this video out and post it up for you guys so you can see this semi-real time. And if you have any questions, hit me up in the Discord. I do still have the MEXC campaign is running until tomorrow, through the end of tomorrow. So if you want that sign-up bonus, if you deposit up to $500, you can get a $10 free bonus. And then depending on how much you trade, you can get up to $20,000 in futures trading bonuses. That's running till tomorrow. If you got anything out of this video, if you learned anything, please consider liking the video. Please consider subscribing. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all for your support. I really appreciate it. We've been growing pretty steadily every day. And I just want to say I appreciate you guys. Also, shout out to Tyler Bueno. Thank you for that tip today on the ticker scroller stopping. I did change that in the settings on OBS, so we'll see in this video if it actually worked. But thank you for that, man. See you guys later.